Hi, I am Dr.Chatterjee is talking about the thyroidinum. So this is a medicine which is a nosode. It is prepared. Thyroidin is actually it is not the nosode. It is the sarcodes, and a remedy which is prepared from the dried thyroid gland of the dried thyroid gland of the sheep or on the calf, and this extract is made the medicines and to be able to arrive as a medicine proper under the understanding the symptomatology of that. So whenever the administration of the thyroid gland in large doses usually accelerates the protein and other metabolic things. Mostly the fat matter helps the thyroid usually helps for the metabolism of the protein, carbohydrate and other substances. जैसे chlorine, nitrogen, phosphorus all are to be metabolized. So clinically, if we see, this is a medicine which is useful in case of the polyuria and excessive sweating, tachycardia, and tremor, emaciation of the body, and the glycosuria are usually mostly observed. So the removal of the thyroid gland usually causing this type of problems and leads to anemia, oliguria, myxedema, and the cretinism and the obesity. इसलिए whenever the thyroid gland remains, so it usually manages so many work, it perform the work, and as a absence of the thyroid gland, the lots of complication may start. So from the externally, the thyroid extract is to be given with few micromilligram and so on. So the thyroid gland usually spear action is the glandular system, and especially the thyroid gland and the female genital organs, the skin, nervous, blood and the bones. So thyroid gland का सबसे बड़ी बात है. Now it is useful in that cases when the deficiency syndrome is there as a result of the thyroid extraction of it. So in that cases we can provide the thyroid. But some pathological signs and symptoms also remaining in the body, and that is to be obtained while to the patients most of the time. So what we will find in case of the thyroid gland extraction, the albuminuria is one of them. Albuminuria, and what will happen? The albuminuria, amenorrhea, anemia, convulsion, and these are even the cretinism, dropsy, eczema, fractures in and the goiter, milk deficiency, and the hypertrophy, epileptic condition, myxedema, obesity, psoriasis, headache, enuresis, and rheumatic arthritis and undescended testes are also to be found. Actually, it is not necessary that this is the only signs and symptoms is produced, or the only therapeutic indications are there, or the clinical indications are there. It is not necessary. So whenever there is any extraction deficiency is there, so as a result of some other complications, secondary symptoms are usually to be produced. So it is mostly if we see the diagnosing symptoms in this sense, so we will find so many disease condition this medicine can be utilized. So it is, if we see the diagnosing symptoms, mostly it is suitable to the thin persons or the obese persons with an irregular deposition of the fat, and but are mainly usually those who are the pale and anemic. There may be exophthalmic like look in that condition should not usually seen. So what is happening there? Now thyroid gland extract होने के बाद, or if there is any complication or there is any deficiency of the thyroxine, as a result of some complication are there. Sometimes we may find might find that is the somebody are become the very once upon a time they become the fatty, flabby, obese person, but gradually they become the lean, thin, emaciated, or in general somebody become the obese. So in that case, thyroid deficiency is there, and we can provide the thyroidinum. Then question comes, so many fallacies are there whether which potency is to be prescribed. That is different. That depends on the individual to individuals. So what you will find that the person is mostly thin or obese persons with an irregular menses, or the deposition or irregular deposition of the fat, but usually they are the pale and anemic, and there may be exothermic goiter is there. Next is the chili patient. Okay, the chili patient are there. They are usually mostly they are the chili patient. There is sensation of the chilliness with increased sensibility. There is the chilliness with increased sensibility. They are very susceptible to cold, and aggravation from the cold is there. So this thyroid gland, thyroidinum, usually helpful for the maintaining the body temperature and other complications. And if there is any deficiency symptom is there, or there is any problem, so what we will find that most of the time there is a state of puffiness, and obesity may be regarded as a keynote indication of the thyroid. Okay, so in case of puffiness and obesity, so the obesity in general at the same time puffiness of the face is to be observed of the individuals. So on that basis we can think of there may be some deficiency of the thyroxine, or the thyroidinum may be necessary. So what we will find there, along with this, there is the state of puffiness and obesity is there, are regarded as an indication of the thyroidinum. According to the Clark, in case of the tachycardia, they are also producing the tachycardia, the palpitation from the least motions. Okay, so tachycardia is also one of the very important signs and symptoms, and it is to be found. And also, apart from this, there is the least exertion, aggravation from least exertions. So if we see there is the puffiness and there is the edema, obesity, along with this tachycardia and with irregular heartbeat, we can think of this. All complaints, aggravation by the exertions, least exertions, then calcarea arch is also another important medicine. So palpitation from the least exertion, we'll find it. Calcarea arch is also there. So calcarea, don't neglect the calcarea arch. So calcarea का high altitude में उठना नीचे आना, ये तो तकलीफ देते, साथ साथ आर्सेनिक क्या करते, it acts as complications. So whenever calcarea arch is there, calcarea arch in general combinedly helpful for reducing the complication of a fatty person while ascending or descending. So ऊपर चढ़ना आना मुश्किल होते, लेकिन जैसे नीचे तक का time while going downwards, the borax is very important. Like this, we can think of it. Next number is the state of puffiness and obesity may be regarded as the keynote indication of the thyroidinum. Palpation is from the least exertion, and another thing is the excessive sweating. So if we see there is an excessive sweating, there is a craving for the sweet is also another important symptoms of the calcarea, and that is the thyroidinum. So in case of the calcarea, their craving is different, but in case of this drug thyroidinum, there is the craving for the sweet and is there. Next number, thirst for the age, although there is the very trembling, another complication, thirst for the entire body is also another important factor. Okay, thirst for the entire body desires the thirst, so they usually takes the cold water is very important. Next number, trembling of the whole body is another characteristic symptoms of the drugs, that is the thyroidinum. So whenever there is an excessive trembling in the entire body, we must consider these drugs. Another is the coldness and extremities, and numbness and the extremity of the extremities, and coldness and numbness of the extremities, very important symptoms. Okay. So another thing is the polyuria. Polyuria, urine contains albumin and the sugar. So this is also another characteristic symptoms of the drugs. इसलिए poly बार frequently maturation होते and albumin निकालते, sugar जाते. It is a very important symptom. Another is the persistent frontal headache. और एक शब्द बोल दिया, persistent frontal headache is also another symptoms of the criteria of the thyroidinum. ठीक है ना, हमेशा एक हेडेक रहते हैं, persistent रहते हैं frontal headache के लिए. Next number, nausea. I usually was riding car with much flatulency. So nausea aggravation while riding the car or with much flatulency is very important symptoms. Next, we will see the mental patient is very irregular, very irritable, and cannot be on any least type of opposition and goes into passion about the trifles. इसलिए ये patient जो हैं, इन लोग हमेशा irritability is very important symptoms of the drugs, and they goes in opposition. If anyone goes in opposition, they will become more irritable and passionate to his trifles. There is the depression, there is the stupor, and mentally alternates to the restlessness and melancholia, stupor and depression, restlessness, melancholy. At times becomes the homicidal patient wants to strangle even body by putting his arms very tight around their neck. कभी कभी पेशेंट भी होमिसाइड करना चाहते हैं, सुसाइड करना चाहते हैं, by putting the hands into left side. Next number, next number is that the next number is that the patient is highly irritable, cannot be at least position, and goes to the highly irritable in any condition. They cannot have depression is there, and a stupor alternates with the restlessness and the melancholia. कभी कभी the patient becomes restless and stupor हो जाते हैं, and melancholia at times becomes homicidal patient wants to strangle, every times becomes homicidal patient wants to strangle everybody by putting his arms very tightly around the neck. इसलिए कभी कभी पेशेंट दूसरा को भी मारना पसंद करते, मार देना चाहते by putting his arms very tightly around the neck. So अगर इससे कोई इम्पल्स कोई पेशेंट का अंदर है तो हम कम से कम थायराइडिनम के बारे में सोच सकते हैं. So homicidal tendency also important of this thyroidinum. It is said to be useful in case of the undescended testicles in the boys. So boys, so we will find that there are so many disease conditions are there in the undescended testes, especially in these cases where there is the undescended testis is there. Even so many patients are there where there is the undescended testis. So in that cases we can think of the these drugs. Even some iodium is also one of the medicine where there is the undescended testis. Even HOTB Oramet is also one of the medicine where there is the undescended testis. Okay, so it is indicating deficient HOTB undescended testicles in the boys is there. HOTB is indicated in case in the deficiency in the milk secretion is also there. So in the deficient milk secretion, especially when associated with the return of the menses. Okay, so when you find that in case of the deficient milk is there, especially when the associated with the return of the menses, we can think of the medicine. So कभी कभी देखा गया मेंस स्टॉपेज है, फिर भी इसका डिसीजन टेस्टिकल्स आ सकते, मिल्क सिक्रेशन होते, और कभी कभी देखा जाए प्रेगनेंसी है फिर भी मिल्क सिक्रेशन होते, उस जगह में इसको दे सकते। कन्वल्सन्स ड्यूरिंग दैट फीवर, convulsions during fever and during the dentition, there may be some fever is there, chronic and obstinate diarrhea of undernourished children during the dentition period. So this type of symptoms also present in case of the calculaphos, tuberculinum, sanicula. These drugs also having the same problem. So chronic and obstinate diarrhea usually under the nourished children during dentition. So dentition period में किसी का अगर ऐसी है जो nourished children का, जैसे obstinate diarrhea है under nourished children, we must think children during the dentition, we can think of the thyroidinum. So छोटा बच्चे का कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, स्पेशली congenital disease or something else or acquired, फिर भी this type of hormonal disturbances कारण we can think of the drugs. So history of the repeated premature delivery or abortion of the obtuse nature, obscure nature, कभी कभी देखा गया repeatedly abortion होते, premature delivery हो जाता, ऐसे कुछ भी situation आ सकती है. Okay, so we can think of the drugs accordingly. Desperate cases of the jaundice in the newborn babies is also very important. So this is very important of the drugs if there is any desperate cases of the jaundice, neonatal jaundice, and of the especially of the newborn babies, we must think of the thyroidinum. So these are the, so if it is repeated, then again I am talking about it, this regarding this very suitable, if we find it the suitable to the obese persons or the persons of the irregular deposition of the fat, even it to be is suitable to the lean thin emaciated persons, those who are usually pale and anemic, there may be exophthalmic goiter is there, for them we can consider the thyroidinum. Next, the other patient is chilly, there is sensation of the chilliness and increased sensitivity to cold, and the aggravation from the cold is very important. So in case of the thyroidinum patient, there is the chilliness is there and the patient cannot tolerate the cold in any form. So like this, there is the state of the puffiness, and there is a state of puffiness and edema of the whole body, especially on the lower extremity, or even in the edema puffiness can be found in the face. Okay, so this is also a very indicated important symptoms of the thyroidinum according to the Clark's theory. Next number we will find that there is the tachycardia, there is the palpitation on the slightest exertion. This is very important symptoms of the drugs. So palpitation, tachycardia, especially aggravation during exertions is very important. Next number is the excessive sweating. This patient, thyroidinum patient having some excessive sweating, this is very important symptoms of the drugs. और क्या there is in craving for the sweet को इसका special craving हुए, and craving for the sweet, thirst for cold water, sweet cravings is very important. Tingling of the limbs in the entire body is also found, and the coldness and tingling of the coldness of the body which is to be found, even touches can you can understand by touching to the body that some parts are become the cold. So they are the chilly patient, but along with it there is the coldness of the part extremities is also very important. We will find there is the polyuria, urine contains some albumin and sugar. So इसमें अंदर यूरिया है, even कभी कोई sugar है, we can think of the drugs, or in the albumin भी है to be. Persistent frontal headache or is a very important symptoms of the drugs. persistent frontal headache is very important symptoms of these drugs. And there is the polyuria, already I told, nausea and vomiting, especially while riding in the cars or with much flatulency. Okay, mentally the patient is very much irritable, cannot bear to the least contradiction or opposition, and goes into passion of the travels. Depression is there, and sourness alternates with the stuporness, alternates with the restlessness and strangle and melancholia. At times becomes very homicidal patient. They usually threatens the patient by the help of the finger or the hands to the hand, which they put their hands around the neck. Okay. Next, it is said to be useful in cases of undescended testes. Further, where there is some developmental defect, we can think of the thyroidinum. Even not only that, even if there is any undescended testes, even if the mammary gland is not properly developed, we can think of these medicines. During dentition without fever, there is the convulsions. Convulsions is like during the dentition period without the fever. It is very important symptoms of the drugs. Chronic and obstinate diarrhea is there. Chronic and obstinate diarrhea under nourished children during dentition. Obstinate diarrhea on the nourished children during dentition is important. History of repeated premature delivery and abortion of the obscure nature. So, what we will find that the premature delivery and malnutrition, especially, and abortions, after abortions, if the patient does not recover in proper way, we can think of the thyroidinum. Next number, desperate cases of the jaundice. In case of the new babies, if there is any desperate case of jaundice, new babies, we can think of the thyroidinum. So, if we see the head, there is a persistent headache, especially in the frontal, and the lightness of the lightness of the brain, eyeballs usually mostly prominent, fullness and heat in the head with flushed face. The head becomes fullness, heaviness, dullness, drowsiness, and the eyeballs are become very prominent, and fullness of the head, heat at the bed with flushed face. Heat of the bed with flushed face is very important factor. Next number, the eyes. There the eyes are becomes prominent. There is a progressive diminution of the sight and the central diminution of sight and central scotomata. This is also another sign symptoms. So gradually there may be due to the sugar or something else, the eyesight are becoming gradually losses, and we'll find it. Stomach, there is an excessive desire for the sweet, and sweet is very important, and thirst for the cold water is also, and nausea with riding in the car is very important. So that desire for the sweet and thirst for the cold water, nausea, worse riding in carriage, and flatulence, much flatulence in abdomen is also very prominent. Okay, so most of the time the calcula baby becomes fatty flabby and while working under the hotels. Okay, so जो लोगों का ज़्यादा होटल में काम करते हैं, लोगों के लिए ऐसी प्रॉब्लम मोस्टली देखा गया है. Desire for the sweet and thirst for the cold water, worse riding in the car, and flatulency, much flutters in abdomen is also there. Much flutters in abdomen. Respiratory symptoms, dry, very painful, with scanty, difficult expectorate, and burning in pharynx. So, the difficulty that is also pronounced, that is also painful, especially it occurs respiratory distress, along with the burning in flow is very important. Urine symptoms, polyuria or an increased flow, some albumin and sugar is there. So if we see the urine, then we must see the polyuria, albumin and the sugar if we do the blood test. Urine smell of the violets and bring along the urethra and increase of uric acid and nourishes usually children who are nervous and irritable. So what we find that the persons usually not getting the proper guidelines and other substances for them. So polyuria of the urine, increased flow, some albumin and urine is there. Urine usually smells of the violet, bringing the along the urethra, increases of the uric acid, and immunologists and weakly children who are nervous of them and irritable. इसलिए कभी कभी क्या देखा गया, whenever we are usually prescribing the very well treated very fails, but the patient stand up or the patient is very active or they have to be, then we can think of the this type of complications. Heart symptoms, that weak heart and frontal pulse, with weak heart and frontal pulse is there. With irritability, inability to lie down, patient cannot remain in lying down position. There is because of there is a tachycardia. Pulsation from the least exertion is there. Pulsation from least exertion is there, and readily excitedly of the heart. Severe heart pain is also there, and extremities. There is a rheumatic arthritis with tendency to obesity. Extremities में सबसे बड़ी बात है rheumatic problem with the obesity. There is the coldness and cramps in the extremities. Okay, coldness and cramps in the extremities, trembling of the limbs and intermittent and entire body is very common. So edema of the legs, peeling of the skin of the extremities are to be found. So if we see the rheumatic problem of the arthritis with tendency to obesity, coldness and cramps of the extremities are there, trembling of the limbs and entire body is there, edema of the leg and peeling of the skin of the lower extremities, and we can think about it. So there is no mercy of the lens. Next number is skin psoriasis, associated with the adiposity. So क्या देखते हैं, जैसे body becomes either emaciated or fatty flabby fleshy हो जाते हैं, ये भी ऐसे होते हैं. The psoriasis associated with the adiposity, brownish and lean. There is the adiposity, there is the browning and swellings are there. The skin becomes the dry, hyperventilized, and the eczema and swelling of the glands of atony hardness is there. Jaundice with itching and ichthyosis, lupus, itching while eruptions are worse, and the eruptions worse at night, diesel factor, and then the stony hardness of the glands and jaundice with itching, ichthyosis is also present, and lupus, itching without eruptions, etc. And lastly, thyroidinum is contraindicated in tuberculosis, but they have not been. It may be mostly like bring about the further and reduction of the weight, further reduction of the weight. So thyroidinum is very important and to be useful in these cases where the contradiction of the tubercular patient, but it may be likely bring about the further reduction of the weight is essential. So in case of the thyroidinum, we will find not only the psoriasis, very small eruptions are also found before, during and after menses. Also, brownish, swelling, skin become dry, impoverished, eczema, and swelling of the glands of the stony hardness of the jaundice with itching, ichthyosis, one type of eruptions, and your lunches without eruptions for certain night is very important. So thyroidinum gives us a major role to control the thyroid problem and other edema and lenticulated or congenital anomalies. They can be corrected by it. Okay, thank you. First part is completed. Second part.